Let's dive right into this explainer on the future of our money. Because we aren't just talking about a new kind of digital cash today, we are looking at an entirely new engineered monetary reality. We're going to explore central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs, through a totally groundbreaking architectural framework. We are moving way beyond the physical coins clinking in your pocket and straight into the world of programmable money.
And there's a massive, fascinating tension at the heart of this. Imagine trying to merge the incredibly rigid, slow-moving world of traditional central banking with the hyper-fast, cryptographically secured world of digital tokens. That's exactly what architects are trying to do right now. They're trying to build this bridge without completely destroying our privacy or compromising our security. To really grasp the gravity of this, think back to the spring of 2020. The world is locking down, digital payments are absolutely skyrocketing, and the author of the framework we're discussing today is sitting in a virtual meeting with global central bankers. And he realizes they are not just designing a new form of money, they are literally engineering the interface between state authority and individual liberty. It's a profound thought, right? Money is the actual digital border between your freedom and the state's power.
Now, to even attempt building a CBDC, you need an incredibly multidisciplinary mind, which is why this framework's author, Clive Aldred, is uniquely qualified to map this out. This guy helped uncover a staggering £397 billion fraud at KPMG. He secured the 9th UK telecom license, launching early digital mobile services. He holds multiple Master of Laws degrees, and he's even traded cryptocurrency professionally. So he truly understands the law, the technology, and the flow of money.
So here is our blueprint for this explainer. We're going to cover 1. The digital money paradox. 2. The CBDC Design Pyramid. 3. Compliance by design. 4. The Global Sandbox. And finally, 5. The programmable economy.
Section 1. The Digital Money Paradox, Balancing Programmable Efficiency and Public Trust. Those spring 2020 lockdowns were the ultimate catalyst. Global central banks were practically forced to rapidly figure out how to digitize fiat money at internet speed. But here is the massive paradox they ran into. How on earth do you enforce strict anti-money laundering and counter-terrorist financing regulations without letting the government monitor every single cup of coffee you buy? We needed money that could execute complex logic without turning into a surveillance panopticon. Section 2. The CBDC Design Pyramid, Building Digital Currency from the Ground Up. You have to build this massive system step by step. You can't just skip to the cool features. Step 1 is the foundational layer. That's your core ledger and infrastructure. Step 2 is the access layer, which handles digital identity and authorization. On top of that, Step 3 is the application layer, where all those smart, programmable services live. And finally, sitting at the very top is Step 4, the governance layer, which dictates policy and compliance.
But listen, Aldred specifically warns us about the immense danger of siloed engineering here. The compliance officer and the distributed systems engineer absolutely have to share the exact same architectural blueprint. Because if your tech team builds a lightning-fast system that completely ignores financial regulations, it's dead on arrival. Conversely, if the lawyers design a perfectly compliant system that totally crashes when 10 million people try to buy groceries at the same time, it fails the citizens. They literally have to speak the same language.
Section 3. Compliance by Design, Etching Regulatory Rules into Silicon. You see, in the old financial world, the approach was basically bolt-on compliance. You'd build your payment system and then slap a compliance department and KYC checks on top of it as an afterthought. Not anymore. We absolutely cannot bolt compliance onto a CBDC later. The new mandate is that it must be etched right into the silicon. It has to be built directly into the source code, operating seamlessly from line 1.
And pulling that off introduces what architects call the CBDC Design Trilemma. It's this delicate, almost impossible balancing act of 3 completely conflicting mandates: privacy, financial stability, and compliance. Imagine a triangle. If you pull too hard toward absolute privacy, you completely lose compliance, opening the door to financial crime. If you pull too hard toward strict compliance, you destroy privacy, basically building a surveillance tool. And somehow, you have to maintain global financial stability the entire time. It's a crazy architectural tightrope.
So, how do they solve it? Well, the magical solution to this trilemma relies on highly advanced cryptographic primitives, tools like zero-knowledge proofs and multi-party computation. This is brilliant because it enables privacy-preserving regulatory oversight. A zero-knowledge proof essentially lets your digital wallet mathematically prove to the central bank, yes, this transaction is totally legal and no, I am not on a sanctions list, without ever actually revealing your identity or what you are buying to the state.
Section 4. The Global Sandbox, From White Papers to Production Pilots.
Guys, this isn't just science fiction anymore. Central banks all over the globe are actively building these systems right now, and they all have very different regional focuses. In China, the e-CNY is testing out two-tier architectures and tiered wallets. Europe's digital euro is hyper-focused on privacy and fundamental rights. Nigeria is pushing the eNaira for emerging market inclusion. The Bahamas is innovating for small states with the sand dollar. And Brazil's Drex is diving deep into multi-asset settlement. The whole world is basically one giant testing laboratory right now.
But they can't just build these as isolated islands, right? What good is digital money if it can't cross borders? That brings up the huge hurdle of cross-border interoperability. How do you legally connect a digital euro with a digital Brazilian real when their regulatory frameworks are totally different? Architects are currently trying to overcome this by linking multiple CBDC systems together using specialized APIs, standardized ISO 2022 messaging, and unified ledgers.
And we have to ask, what happens when the power literally goes out? Aldred calls this the offline imperative. These systems are being engineered with secure hardware elements on your devices so you can still pay for groceries safely even when you're completely disconnected from the internet. It requires privacy-preserving offline compliance, rock-solid double spending prevention, and seamless synchronization the second your network comes back online. It is absolutely crucial for national resilience.
Section 5. The Programmable Economy, the Future of Money and Assets.
Because the end goal here isn't just to make buying coffee a little bit faster. We are moving way beyond simple payments. These CBDCs are being designed to serve as the base infrastructure for an entirely new Internet of Value. We're talking about the tokenization of real-world assets, smart financial contracts that execute automatically, and atomic settlement, where, for example, the digital deed to a house and the digital funds to pay for it are swapped instantly without a middleman.
Of course, building this means facing down some massive emerging threats and opportunities. Architects are already future-proofing these systems against next-generation threats like quantum computing breaking current encryption. At the same time, they are figuring out how to leverage artificial intelligence for real-time compliance and fraud detection. The architecture literally has to be living, breathing, and incredibly adaptable.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a thought regarding the future of your financial liberty. The programmable era is not approaching, it's already here. The rules governing state power, individual privacy, and global economics are literally being written into source code as we speak. So we have to ask ourselves, in a fully programmable world of bits and bytes, who will ultimately guard our monetary sovereignty?